Welcome everybody to this tutorial going over how to create a digital collage in Canva. You don't have to create a digital collage if you would prefer using scissors and magazine clippings and paste, aka glue, and collage that way. You are more than welcome to do that. However, if you are interested in creating a digital collage, this tutorial is going to show you the steps in which to do so. So let's get started. I went ahead and created a digital collage in Canva as an example. And as you can see, I took bits of various images. I used unsplash.com. That's a place where I can download images that do not have a copyright restriction. We're not going to get into copyright, but if you collage digitally, or if you work digitally, or you go down that road, it's really important that you not use copyrighted material. So I like to use unsplash.com. You sign up and you're able to use any of the images that Unsplash allows you to download, okay? For the free version, of course. And so I went onto Unsplash, and I'll show you step by step how to do all of this. And I was able to create this collage based on Banksy, which is my favorite artist. So I also created another version because I wanted to play a little bit with text, because in Canva you can also work with text. So it's pretty much the exact same collage. I just added Banksy's name. You don't have to do that if you don't want to, but if you want to, feel free. Feel free to experiment with text, okay? Also, before I started, I created a folder on my desktop and titled it Collage. And in this folder, I have all of the various images that I downloaded from unsplash.com. And we're gonna go through this again step by step, all right? So first things first, I'm going to move this one, my practice collage, down here, and I'm just going to right click, new folder, and I'm going to type collage. How about coolage? Why not? Because it's cool, and we're not going to have an issue with the same name on my desktop. Okay, so I have my folder. It's my coolage. I have the two pieces that I've already created, and I'm going to click down here. And I've already logged into unsplash.com. It's www.unsplash.com. And I first typed in brick wall, because the first thing you need to do is you need to think about who is your favorite artist that we've discussed over the semester. Mine is Banksy, and because I picked Banksy, I wanted to reflect a little bit and think about what kind of artist he is, what kind of material he uses, and that's how I'm going to pay homage to this artist without replicating his artwork. So he's a street artist, so most of his artwork, at least his beginning artworks when he was first starting, were on walls. Were on brick walls, concrete walls. I chose a brick wall because it has a nice visual texture, okay? So I typed in brick wall, and then I looked at the various brick walls. I like this one. I like this one and this one. But I ended up landing with this one, okay? Because I really like how there is a blue middle ground, and it has this kind of white frame-like border that is containing the blue bricks, okay? And that's visually appealing to me. So what I did was I clicked this download button right here, okay? And if I wanted to, I could say thanks to Patrick Tomaso. If I wanted to, just give him a shout out for his awesome picture. I'm not going to do that for this particular demo, but I could. So I have my gray concrete bricks painted in blue, and on my computer, my downloads are right here. So I'm just going to click here, and I'm going to click and drag onto my desktop. I have a Mac, so if you're working on a PC, accessing your downloads might be a little bit different. However, all you're going to do is you're going to access that download and then drag it onto your desktop, just like I did, okay? The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to then type in, Banksy's also a street artist. So I'm just going to make it really easy on myself, and I'm going to type in street art, okay? And now I have all of these options that I can choose from, okay? And some of them are not downloadable. For example, this one right here has the download and a lock symbol, meaning I would need to upgrade to the not free version of Unsplash in order to access this. I'm not going to do that. So I'm not going to mess with any of the images that have this button, okay, the lock symbol and the download. I'm only gonna access or download images with this button, this download arrow, okay? So I'm going to look through here and find some images that I like. I love this one because I love this image right here. I'll probably erase all of this and keep this one, okay? So I'm just gonna download that, okay? And then I will click and drag onto my desktop. I'll clear that out. And let's see here. This is a good one. Okay. Oh, I can't get this one. Let's see. I like this one. This one's pretty cool. I really like this one. I'm just going to exit out of these pop-ups. Okay. So I think that that's pretty good what we've got going so far. Let's see. Ooh, maybe I'll click on graffiti and see if there's any good stuff there. Oh, here we go. This is a good one. And let's see. Here's that time eats everything. I'm going to click that one, even though this demo might be a little different than the one I've already created, because why not? Let's have fun with it. Okay, so now I have all of these, and I'm just going to move my window down, and I'm just going to start putting everything in my Collage folder. Okay. All right. Then I'll clear all that out. And let me bring this back up. I'm going to minimize. And I'm just going to make sure that I have my images here. Okay? I love them. So let's get into Canva. So now that we've accessed the images that don't have any sort of copyright, copyright issues, I can go into Canva. So this is canva.com. I love Canva. Canva is kind of like, if you've heard of Photoshop and Illustrator, it doesn't do everything Photoshop and Illustrator can do, but it's pretty awesome, and it can get you pretty far in the digital world. And it can totally work as a wonderful tool for business and also for creating this digital collage. So the first thing that you're going to want to do is you're going to want to sign up. You're going to want to sign up for the free version. Let's just click sign up, okay? And I'm just going to jump back in because I've already signed up. But you're just going to go through the prompts, sign up. It'll probably require an email address. As you can see, I use my Gmail. I don't use my school email because this Gmail is something that I will have for decades, whereas my .edu, it might change, okay? So I always want to have access to this original account so I don't have to create a new one, okay? So I'm just going to click create or click continue. All right, I'm going to sign back into Canva. All right. So Canva's super awesome because You can create presentations, you can make social media posts, you can create videos, you can make prints, you can create documents, whiteboard sheets, websites, email, photo editor. There's so much you can do with Canva. And I have the free version and it is awesome. So you don't have to pay for anything to have this tool available to you if in your life. So it really opens up a lot of opportunities to be able to create digital content for free. Okay. So I'm just going to create custom size. Okay. Because I want my image to be landscape, meaning that it will be, my width will be 11 and my height will be 8.5. Oop, okay. So hold on. First things first. Let's go to units and get out of pixels. Let's go into inches because we know what inches are, okay? So again, I'm going to go 11 by 8.5. And that's just a standard piece of paper turned on its side, okay? So I'm going to create new design. All right, and here we go. Now I have my page. This looks awesome. I'm super stoked. And now I'm ready to upload my collage folder from unsplash.com. Okay. So I'm just going to go over here into this left-handed toolbar and I'm going to click uploads. Okay. And as you can see, I've already uploaded quite a few, but we're not going to mess with that because that was practice. We're going to upload files. I am going to navigate to my desktop and then I'm going to navigate to the collage folder. Okay. I'm going to click upload. And then I'm going to hold down my shift key and I'm just going to click all of these images. This is a quick way of doing it, okay? When you hold down the shift key and you click everything while you're still holding down shift, you're able to upload a bunch of files all at once, okay? So now you're gonna see the files uploading. And you'll know that they're uploading because you can kind of see this really pretty kind of turquoise, violet gradient that's moving on the screen. And over here in our uploads, you can see this kind of water-like animation. And as that water-like animation fills up the circle, you know, that's how long it's going to take for all of my uploads to upload, okay? So as I'm waiting for my uploads to upload, this one's uploaded, this one's uploaded, this one's getting there. I'm just going to utilize one of the uploads that I've already uploaded because it's the exact same as the one I'm waiting on to start my image. So when you start your collage or your collage, think about the background. Do you want the background to be white? Do you want the background to be any color of the rainbow? Do you want it to be an image? It could be anything you want. This is what we call design thinking. Where do you want to start? So I'm going to start with this, okay? Because I love this brick wall. I think it's going to be an awesome background to my homage to Banksy. And I'm just going to move these handles into place. Okay. And that works, okay? So I have my background. It looks great. I love it. The next thing I want to do is I want to think about my layout. What do I want to put in this area? What do I want to put in this area? What do I want a focal point? Okay. So I want a focal point. I want some cool images along the sides to contain the focal point. So first I'm going to use this. I think this pattern right here looks so cool. So I want to use it. But the first thing I really want to do is I want to get rid of all of this other extra stuff, okay? So in order to do that, while this is highlighted, you can tell that this is the one that's active because it's highlighted. I'm going to go to my eraser and I'm going to click Pixel Eraser, okay? I can adjust the size of my eraser so I can make it really big. If it's really big, it's going to erase really quickly, which is something that I love. Let's just erase quickly and efficiently and not waste our time doing it. And I'm just going to go around and just get rid of all of this, okay? And when I'm done, I'm going to click done. And now I have this really cool, pattern that's creating this nice visual texture on my digital collage, okay? Next, I am going to want a focal point, okay? So I'm going to use this heart, okay? I'm going to use these handles. So I'm going to click on these handles, these little buttons right here, and I'm just going to enlarge them, okay? And I'm going to make it even bigger. Like I want this thing to be almost as big as the page, okay? I want it to be in the middle, and perfect. So again, I'm going to go to my eraser. I'm going to go to Pixel Eraser. I'm going to make my size of my eraser super big because I don't want to waste a lot of time on erasing. Okay, so I'm just going to kind of just take, if I accidentally over erase, this is a keyboard shortcut that is incredible. You're going to click Command or Control, Command on a Mac, Control on a PC, Command or Control Z. And that undoes your action. That undoes your action. Yeah, that's how we say it. And I'm just going to erase all of this information that I don't need for my collage, okay? All right, just getting rid of all of this. And I hope you guys take a little bit more time than me. I'm kind of like mashing through this just to get this demo through so I don't take up too much of your time. Okay, because I would rather you be creating the collage than watching me create the collage. But I need to show you this demo so that you have the tools in your tool belt if you want to use them. Okay, this looks pretty good. All right, I like that, and I'm going to click done. And now I have this really cool heart as a focal point on my digital collage. All right. Next, I really like this Time Eats Everything because it's really it's got that kind of Banksy font. So I'm going to use that. I'm going to keep that. So I'm going to go to my eraser, Pixel Eraser. I'm going to make the eraser super big, and I'm just going to erase this. Oops, Command Z. Okay. If I wanted to, I could type something. I could type Banksy. I could type Time Eats Everything. It's really up to you. The way that you want to design your digital collage is up to you. Okay. And I'm going to leave this little frowny face because I kind of like it. So I'm going to click done. And then I'm just going to move this into place. Okay. So right now my collage is looking pretty cool. The next thing I want to place is this cool amour. And again, I'm going to go to my eraser, Pixel Eraser. And I'm just going to get rid of all of the extra stuff, like the bicycles, pretty much everything that isn't the word amour, okay? All right. There we go. And click done. All right. And then I'm just going to move amour, I think, to here. And I'm going to use this handle and I'm going to make it a little bit smaller, okay? Then let's see, what else do I have here? I'm going to use this one because I think these little creatures are just so much fun. And I'm going to place these creatures right here. And again, I'm going to go to the eraser. And I want to erase all of the information except for when it starts from this kind of cool creature over. Okay? And I'll click done. All right. I could adjust the size if I want to. And I think I want to put something up here, and then I'm going to call it done. So what else do I like? Here we go. And I want the disobey. So I'm going to erase everything except for the disobey. I think I'm going to erase everything except for this part because I love this like weird four-eyed image, like portraiture. So again, I'm going to go to the eraser, go to pixel eraser, make the eraser huge. And I'm just going to like get rid of all of this stuff. Okay. Then I'm going to click done. And I'm going to move that into this corner. Reduce it just a little bit because I don't want my heart to be completely covered, okay? And that's it. So I really like what I've got so far. I would probably add a little bit more if this weren't a demo, but I think that it looks, it looks very street arty. It's paying homage to Banksy. So maybe I'll add some text right here, or maybe a more and then Banksy. So maybe I'll bring this up like this, and then I'll type Banksy like right there, or like right here, or something like that. So I'm going to then click text, okay? And I'm going to add a heading. I can reduce the size of my heading if I want to. And up here in this toolbar, we have our fonts. So these are all of your fonts, okay? You can pick whatever you want, okay? Fonts can really change the overall narrative of the composition. So have fun with it. Like play around with the various fonts and see how it changes. We have our font size, so I can make my font sizes bigger if I don't want to use the handles. I could change the color of my text. I could change if I want it to be bold, italicized, underline, or strike through. I could do uppercase. This is alignment. So play around with these things. I really encourage you because the best way to learn Canva is to just try it out. And if you don't like it, you can always change it, or you can always click Command or Control Z to undo your action. So I'm going to, let's do handwriting. Maybe not. I don't know if I like that one so much. So I'm going to click back, and maybe I'll go to display. Okay. Ooh, I like this one. Okay, and I'm going to type Banksy. Okay, and I'm going to then highlight. Okay, I'm just going to double click to highlight it, and I know that it's highlighted because you see this blue around the text, and I'm going to change the color. Okay, down there, I think it would do well as, let's try this color. And I'm just going to click out of that and then click, come on. There we go. So I had to click out into this area to get rid of the handles because Canva was like, hey, do you want to still change the size? And I needed to click out into this gray area in order to tell Canva, no, I just want to move this thing, okay? But I can always access that again. So I'm just going to go like this and then double click. And let's see if there's any cool effects I can use. So these are various styles. We have shadow, we have splice, we have echo. You can warp or no warp. Let's see what shadow does. Okay, and then I can adjust my shadows, okay? I can make it much more bold. I can also change the color, okay? So I like that. Let's see. It's still kind of hard to read, so maybe I'll just make it gray. Let's see if that helps. Okay, I like that. So I like it because it's not super obvious, but it still is also recognizing the artist that I am paying homage to, okay? And the next thing I want to do is I'm just going to kind of do some alignment things. And that's it. I love it. I think it's awesome. So now that I have my awesome digital collage, I'm ready to turn it in um, through Canvas. Okay. So in order to share or download this image in Canva, I'm going to click the share button right here. Okay. I'm going to click download. Okay. I'm not going to copy the link. I'm going to click download. Okay. So I'm going to click download. And everything looks good. I'm just going to click. Oh, and if you see these little, these crown icons, that means you need a paid version. So just, if you see the crown, just know that it's not the free version. So I'm like, oh, it's the crown, not going to deal with that. So I want my file type to be a PNG. It could be a JPEG or a PNG, okay? Either work great. PNG is really good for pictures, for printing. PNG is really good for things that you're going to view on the web, because this image is going to be viewed through Canvas on the web. I'm going to click a PNG, okay? And then I'm going to click download. And I'm just waiting for it to download. We've got that really pretty turquoise violet gradient image, and it's downloaded. So I'm going to click out of that. And then again, my downloads are accessed right here. And if you're on a PC, your downloads are going to be accessed somewhere differently, okay? So I'm going to keep both. I'm going to click clear. I'm going to minimize. And I'm just going to put my practice images there, because I want to keep my desktop nice and clean. And I'm just going to view it. Looks really cool. I super love it. And now I'm ready to turn this file into Canvas, okay? So the way that you would turn this into Canvas is you would go to the assignment page, you would click Submit Files, and then you would drag and drop or go into your files and click onto this image. It's just like how you would turn in a Word document or how you turned in your A Day in the Life photo. Exactly the same, okay? But if you have any trouble turning in your digital collage to me, please reach out as soon as possible and I will help navigate you through it step by step, okay? So that's it for this demonstration. I hope that you've learned something, and that if you want to create a digital collage, you now have the tools in your tool belt to be able to do so. Okay? I just want to say thank you guys so much for your time, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.